this, and so at least 7. Or you could just do it in here. I mean, yeah. He's already ready to go. Is she here? Get ready to go, guys?
I'm starting to get PTSD. Yes, stand right here. I stand. Oh. It's better if I just stand close too. And are you okay, awesome. Can I just stand close to you? Yeah, and I'll just back up. Good morning. We wanted to thank Calgarians for taking this situation seriously and reducing their water use. It continues to be incredibly important that we conserve as much water as we can. Yesterday, we saw significant reduction in water use up until the afternoon. Unfortunately, as the evening went on and water use increased, this happened around the time that people came home from work. This took us back to a situation where we were using more water than we can produce. This trend cannot continue for us. If we do not reduce our water use, we are at risk of running out. We need your help to save water for the next few days while the crews continue to work on the problem. We're asking you today to reduce your water use an additional 25% of what you reduced yesterday. And we're hoping everyone can do just that little bit more. That's a few minutes off of your shower, skipping a few flushes, holding off on your load of laundry, holding off on your dishes. The boil water advisory for the community of Bowness remains in place. We are continuing to work with Alberta Health Services to sample and test the water to ensure it's safe before the advisory is lifted. The 9 water wagons remain in place in the community of Bowness to assist the residents. A list of those locations is available on calgary.ca/water outages. Due to the ongoing water main break, as a precautionary measure to help with the unnecessary use of water to ensure fire safety, a citywide fire ban remains in effect. This fire ban includes all city parks, and it will be in effect until further notice. For more information on fire bans and fire safety advisories, please visit calgary.ca/fire bans or contact 311. Remember always to call 911 to report a fire. We remain in stage 4 of water restrictions, and our community standards team will continue to take an education approach to gain compliance. As of this morning, our bylaw officers have attended 56 calls for misuse of water and attended 8 service calls for having a fire during a fire ban. We want to thank Calgarians for taking this situation seriously and reducing their water. It continues to be incredibly important to conserve this water, and we all need to do our part to make sure our city has access to water for public health and safety. So please, as you're looking at your day today, use 25% less water than you used yesterday, and we'll be able to hopefully stabilize that supply versus demand. I will now pass to Director Nancy Mackay. Sue.
Morning, everyone. Our crews are still working around the clock, and overnight we were able to pump water from around the area of the break. This is necessary before we begin excavation. We are hopeful that later today we'll be able to fully expose a section of the feeder main to see the extent of the break. This will help us finalize our repair plans. We are continuing to shift drinking water from our Glenmar water treatment plant around the city. We're working that plant very hard to get water to everyone. What we've also been able to do is adjust some of the pumping around the city so that we're able to get water differently to some of the communities that we weren't before. So we're really adjusting our operations to what is still a very changing situation. I want to thank everyone for doing their part to conserve water. We must all further, as Sue had mentioned, reduce our water use to effectively use our remaining water supply. Well, we did well to cut back yesterday. Unfortunately, our consumption rose in the evening hours at the time people came home. This current level of water use cannot continue. If we do not reduce our water use even further, we're at risk of running out. Please keep following the outdoor watering ban and cut down on your non-essential indoor water use, both at work and at home. We are trying to get back to normal as fast as we can, but this is a massive break that cannot be repaired in a day or two. We're counting on all Calgarians, homeowners, businesses, many of those in the communities that use water in so very many different ways, just as we came together in the floods of 2013. To save all the water we can, we need everyone to do their part. And we've seen that, and we really appreciate that, and we need to continue and do even a little bit more. If you have questions, I'd like to remind you that about what to do and you're not sure, to please visit calgary.ca. There's great information there, and anything about the boil water advisory as well. Alberta Health Services, our colleagues there, have lots of good information, particularly for those customers in Bowness. And with that, I think we'll open for questions.
Might run out. Can you comment on actually how low and when we would run out?
That really all depends on what Calgarians do. We are taking stock of how much water we're able to produce and bring out to the large reservoirs, which are you might not know they're in your community. They're under soccer fields sometimes that hold treated water. We have several of those throughout the city. We're monitoring the levels of those in addition to what we're able to produce. When you look at that and we compare that to what Calgarians are using, the balance dipped in the wrong direction. The demand for water yesterday during the evening was higher than we were able to produce. In the morning, it was the opposite. We are really paying attention to that balance. So again, will that happen when that happens? It really all depends on us. So we need everyone to do their part.
Is there any way, that you would make mandatory indoor water restrictions, or are you still leaving it to voluntary?
The question that you've asked is mandating indoor water restrictions. The one thing that we do know about Calgarians is they do step up, and that's really what we're looking for with everyone. Seeing what everyone is doing behind closed doors, we're not about that. We're about doing what's the right thing. So again, it's having everyone do their part. Indoor, we all know how we use water, be it flushing the toilets, delaying laundry, those kind of things. Where can you change something just a little bit, as Sue mentioned, reducing water from think about what you used yesterday. How can we reduce that another 25%? That's really what we're asking. Thanks.
Saying no, Calgarians change their habits. Regarding the consumption of yesterday's, how many days or weeks can the city of Calgary go?
The question is, how many days or weeks can the city of Calgary go? Again, the question is similar to the one that was just answered, is how many days can the city of Calgary go? Once again, it actually depends on us. And what I can tell you is that most cities have enough storage. We have enough storage in our system, those reservoirs that I talked about, for 1.5 to 2 days. Now we're constantly filling those up. So again, that balance between how much we're able to produce and how much Calgarians are using is really the answer to that. We are working as hard as we can, being very careful about what we're able to produce, and we need Calgarians to reduce that so that we're able to make more, move it around the city for those uses that we all rely on water for, in a way that it's there. So it really depends on all of us working together.
You have two numbers, so the low consumption number from the morning yesterday and the high consumption number from 1700 or higher. Do you have those two numbers?
Thank you for the question. Is respect to specific numbers over the day yesterday, morning perhaps, and evening. I don't have those on me right now, but I will work to get those for us. Thank you for the question.
How did the grass fire in Springbank didn't impact levels in Calgary?
The question is how a grass fire in Springbank may have impacted water levels. I don't have that with me right here. What I can tell you, though, is that we are working very closely with the fire department in terms of when there is fire, talking to our water services at the plant, where demand is and how we're moving water through our different pressure zones, which are different parts of that our network of arteries, so to speak, throughout the city. And we work very closely to manage that. I don't have numbers specifically, but I know our teams are working very closely. And Sue may be able to speak to as well. Chief Dongsworth was here talking about some different preparations that the fire department has been doing to prepare for making sure that they have what they need for fighting fire. So again, what's great about the EOC here is that we're all coming together to look at different scenarios and working some different options.
You mentioned earlier, the big thing is to get that water out, be able to suck the water out of there so they can kind of see the damage and now know how to attack it. Can you maybe talk about what the next couple of days will look like from a repair point of view?
The question is, can I speak to what we can expect for the next couple days for the repair? What I can tell you is certainly overnight, what was really important was getting the water down. We still have a bit of water coming into the site, but we're able to get pumps set up overnight to move that water out of the site. So again, the goal today is to expose the part of the water main that we think has some damage in it and getting the site location ready. We have identified the equipment we need. We're bringing in some extra equipment for that excavation today. And we will, removing some material, setting up the site is important. And so that will be the first piece. And then once we're able to do that, we will have a more fulsome plan that we can start to share with you. So that's what I know right now. And again, our commitment is to keep you informed as things go along. So thanks for that.
Will there be a restriction for enterprise that really use a lot of water, such as car wash? Thank you.
So thank you. The question is, are there restrictions in place for
Will there be?
for some of the larger commercial kind of operations that use a lot of water? Our plea for everyone who uses water indoors is indeed that. Please limit what you can. So, and delay for all of us. And I think that's quite helpful for everyone to be doing that. The water restrictions that are currently in place citywide, stage 4 water restrictions, which we put in place for emergencies, like the emergency we are in right now. No outdoor water use, except water for health and safety reasons or to maintain the, people, life, animals, that type of a thing. Those will remain in effect, I imagine, until we're through this. As long as we need to reduce that water, drinking water use, those will remain in effect.
No car wash or open today.
When it comes to car washes, that falls in the indoor, outdoor water use for everyone. Please don't be using water outdoors. No washing your cars at the moment. Car washes are a form of business indoor water use. I know some car washes have voluntarily shut their doors. It's up to that businesses. If you can delay washing your car and taking it there, I would ask that you do that. We have certainly, at the City of Calgary in our operations, we are really scaling back, unless it's a health and safety, which is a reality for all of us. If you can't see and you're working in the dirt or you've come there, you need to clean your car. Again, health and safety is top priority. And again, we are asking everyone to scale back where they can.
So you mentioned the calls that were coming in, people reporting. Like, are you encouraging people to do that, or how do you want that?
I'll turn that over. The question is around calls coming in, so I'll turn that over to
Thank you. We're certainly hopeful that all citizens will listen to the restrictions that are in place and help us through this challenge. 311 is always there if folks feel the need that they need to report something. What we found yesterday with a lot of the calls is people were unaware. So it was an education first approach. People were compliant for the most part with what the request was, and it was really about making sure that they had the message. So we're focused today on continuing to get that message out so that everyone understands.
Any other questions? Want to close the thing?
Just a thank you to the city crews. There's so many different city agencies and city crews that have been working overtime to be able to do this. Everything from our water crews that are on site, to our mobility crews, to our folks in 911 and 311 that are answering the phone, as well as all of the agency members. I wish Calgarians could see the big machine that's happening in behind to help do this, and the amount that the city staff care about our citizens is incredible. So thank you to the City of Calgary staff, and thank you to the citizens, and please reduce an additional 25% today.